Coming up in this video, guys, see how we go from this really blocked ear canal to this lovely looking eardrum here. So what we've got is a very kind of thick, sticky type of wax. Now we're getting a lot of these thicker, stickier waxes at the moment, but we've got a lovely little gap just at the top. So we're going in here with the Rai Curettes. Perfect when you've got a little gap like that. Just trying to push through. Not quite there yet. Let's just pull down on this section. Oh, I couldn't quite get through. So the nice thing about this particular tool that Neil's produced is that you have a Rai Curette on one end and you have a Rai hook on the other. So it is quite handy. So he's produced various different tools, but this one's almost like a double-ended tool with two different tools on the either end. So I'm just getting through that gap and just pulling down now. There we go. We're almost there. We're just starting to sort of press this down just so we can get a little bit further in and grab behind. It looks like there's a little bit of dry skin back there though. So that's a good chunk of wax there. Out that's come. Let's take a look beyond. We can see the eardrum there. We can just start to see a little bit of wax we picked up. So we're going to switch back around now to the Rai Curette. We're going to see if we can just get past this back section. Let's concentrate on the bottom portion of this this wax now. Let's get rid of that first. And then we can get those little straggly pieces then from the top and a little bit more from the bottom section. Almost. There we go. Let's tidy that bit up. Not always easy to tidy up with the curettes. It's just because they've got that sort of slightly pointed end, they're great for getting the wax out. But when you're looking at almost like a round Jobson horn, because it's got that sort of duller edge to it, it's much sort of easier to go pull along the skin and get those big chunks out. But eardrum looking absolutely fab. So we've got just over 3/4 of an inch, 2 centimeters of wax from that one canal, guys. So coming up in this video, guys, see us remove this long strip of skin from this ear canal. So what we've got here, you can see it's not a particularly blocked canal. We've got gaps top and bottom. A bit awkward because it bends from the back and scoops around to the front. So the first thing we're going to do is try and lift this long piece of skin and wax off the canal wall. Now my thinking here is if I can't lift it and it comes away easily, because you've got that very thin surface sort of front end to the wax, not always easy to pick up with suction. So I'm going to go in now with the forceps. We're going to grab the edge and we're just going to draw this out, and out this starts to come. Look at that, one continuous piece there. Nice big old chunk of skin and wax. A little bit of tidying up to do now, so you can see we're just going to start to peel. But just as we peel this outside edge, this harder, more crumbly piece of skin just here on the outside edge, as we get beyond that, then you can see it's got this sort of thicker, this much thicker piece of skin going on behind it, which is still attached to the canal wall. So we're just going to try and draw this down now off the canal wall. There we go, it's on its way. And again. Oh, you can still far back, that's peeling. There you go. So that was a really dry surface layer of skin. Are we going to be able to get this last little piece off? Let's see. They don't always come away particularly well, especially when you get to a thin. Oh my goodness. See how the whole front section of the canal here has got this dry surface layer on. Look, it's going all the way down. That's a heck of a peel. And this is the difficulty we have with when these ear canals start to dry, which happens as we age. So as we get a little bit older, we tend to find that these ear canals will dry out a little bit. I've put some olive oil in here because we were getting a little bit of clarinetting just as we got hold of that last little piece there. There we go. And you can see we're looking really healthy in this. We've got, what's that, so half an inch or centimetre, and I pushed that right up to 0. I'm going to go 1.5 centimetres on that one there, guys. So we're back to one of Taylor's patients now. So this is, oh my goodness me, that's a difficult one. It's difficult because you've got this very dense hair on the outer portion of the ear canal and a very humid canal and very soft and squishy wax. Now it wouldn't surprise me if this peels away as layers of skin. Yep, looks like it is. There we go. You can see those layers peeling all the way down the canal then. And this is a bit of wax, but see that underlayer, that sort of almost like this white layer that's sitting underneath that wax layer, that's dry skin. So the whole thing, it looks like it's going to peel. There we go. As it all starts to lift up, let's see if we can break just that little bit. There we go, and break the wax. There it comes. So that thick, dry, dead skin layer was actually holding this piece of wax in place here. So now we've got that out, all the way to the outside edge. There we go. And let's take a look beyond. Looking lovely. Well, eardrum, and a couple of little sort of spots on the eardrum there. That's something I would want to keep an eye on with a patient. I don't think it's indicative of anything like an infection. It could just be that those spots are, small patches of tympanic sclerosis. It could be little flaky bits of debris that are stuck to the eardrum. Certainly something to keep an eye on with that particular ear canal. Now we take a look at the other side, very humid again. So let's get some suction in here in a second and we'll be able to see what's going on in there then. As we put the suction tube in, it draws all the humidity, all the moisture out of the canal, makes it a lot easier for us to see. So we get rid of this section here at the front, a little bit of dry skin. Oh, a lot of dry skin tagged onto the back of that actually. So out that comes. And it all came away as one piece. Lovely, that's exactly what you want to see. So Taylor got 2.5 centimeters, just under an inch there of wax and skin. Now let's see how Taylor gets from this very occluded ear canal here to this, my goodness me, that is squeaky clean as well. Slightly retracted eardrum there by the looks of that, so we'll keep an eye out for that bit later on. So you can see this is a fully occluded ear canal here. So Taylor's going to be using some suction. I could tell that straight away, only because the moisture was there and then suddenly it disappeared, as we did for the last patient. So he's going to go in with the standard size ulnar tube here. Now how hard is this plug? Is it going to have enough integrity to be able to pull this whole thing out in one go? So let's have a little look. There's a little bit of very soft wax at the base. You can see just coming up in front of the camera. It's adhering to one of the little hairs on the outer portion of the ear canal, but he's trying to get a good old grip on this section. The whole thing, by the looks of it, is on the move straight away. Now he's being nice and cautious here, really gentle when he's bringing this out. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good plug. Look at that. And it's already looking much, much clearer. Just got a little bit of tidying up to do. This is more cosmetic than anything else here at the outside portion of the ear canal. Just giving this a little bit of a tidy up. Just using the fine end for this. You can see it's this very, very thin layer. Oh, there's a little bit at the top there. You can see it bending off to that left-hand side of the canal wall. So he's just going to peel this down. Oh, it's almost there. Oh, that's a long peel, isn't it? It was quite a hard old piece stuck to the corner of the canal wall. He's giving it a bit of a wiggle just to try and loosen the back end of this plug. It all depends on whether it's attached to a big old piece of skin. Oh, no, there we go. Out that comes. Lovely. See a couple of hairs in there as well. So the patient obviously trims the hairs as well. But eardrum, yeah, a little bit retracted, but otherwise looking nice and healthy. So 2 centimeters, just under 3/4 of an inch there for Taylor Green. Watch us remove this big skin plug from this ear canal. I love a skin plug. I would say it's peels, then skin plugs. I would say it's probably my 2 favorites. So when you take a look in this ear canal, you can see it looks very messy in here. So we're just going to use the standard size ulnar tube just at the entrance. Let's see if we can lift the corners of this skin. There we go. And out that is starting, well, not out, but off the canal wall, that's starting to come. So you can see it's very, very soft. So just, oh, there we go, starting to peel down from the top. Let's give this a little bit more of a wiggle. It's almost, oh, there we go. Now we're on the move. Now we got some, now we're cooking with gas. So this is coming away really, really well. Look at that. That is a chunky piece. You can see a lot of dead skin beyond. Now, let's take a look in this ear canal. There we go. So what we can see in this ear canal now, this skin's been hanging around in here for a long time. So this was quite an elderly patient that came through, hasn't had their ears cleaned out for a little while. And you can see at the bottom portion of this canal that doesn't look quite right. Now, what's happened here is where that skin's been hanging onto the canal wall for a long time, you've ended up with this very soft, dead layer of skin. You can see these really hard pieces in here as well. So this has actually started to almost degrade the canal wall. You end up with this divot at the base of the canal. So I'm just taking this little piece away at the top here. Now for this patient, what we would expect to see is we're going to write to their GP to keep an eye on this, but I would like to see this patient on a regular basis. Now sometimes what will happen is, now we've got rid of the offending dead skin, the migration starts to return as that skin underneath starts to harden up. Other times what will happen is the surface layer will harden and it will keep eroding underneath. And if that's the case, then we'll have to send through to ENT. So you can see with this skin I'm pulling on here, this is actually fresh skin. It doesn't look like it, but imagine your skin when you've been in water too long, you get that white kind of puffiness to the skin. That's what we're looking at here. So almost like over moisturized. But yeah, something to really keep a really close eye on with this patient. So we've got 5/8 of an inch, just under 2 centimeters. Well, thank you guys for watching our video again today. If you do enjoy the videos, don't forget you can like, heart, share, follow, and subscribe for me. If you thoroughly enjoy the videos, you can also consider becoming members of the channel, and that way then you get to see even more videos every single week. But as always, guys, take care of yourselves, take care of your ears, and take care of one another. Fingers crossed, me and Taylor Green will be together again on Wednesday. So we shall see you then. Bye, everybody.